Mabuda, unasemaje? Manze, leo niko na marantings Leo ni kurant tu. Nilikuwa tu nimechill kiasi hivi najiuliza tu maswali mingi sana mno. Maswali mingi sana. I even wrote out some of the thoughts that I had. Of course, some of them are borrowed, but I mean, the things that I have actually come to tend to believe these days. And I just think we're pretty much lost. Like a good number of us are lost, and you know how we were even brought up by people who are lost. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And this is why I think so. So I would just think for a second. What if everything you've ever known have been lies, right? So uambiwe kila kitu yenye unajua sahi, everything you have like these strong beliefs towards you literally, no one can even convince you otherwise. What if you're told all those things were wrong? I think it's the reason why lately I've always wanted to view things from at least both sides, not to care too much, I distance myself from things. Unakuwa tu bystander, unakuwa tu spectator, not to offer unsolicited advice, you know. Because I mean, think about it. What if you're wrong? So leo mse akwambie everything you've always known is a fucking lie. What would you do with that? Do you kill yourself? I think the better place to be ni place yenye unaweza undo some of that shit. So, and for you to easily make those changes, you need to first not have held such beliefs too literally, too tightly. You don't own them, you know. So obviously religion inakwanga the main culprit hapa. So you understand how this thing came up. Kuna some stupid white people that showed up. They were smart. I mean, for them, again, subjectivity, no. So rather objectivity. So from their perspective, they had conquered new land, right? And they had a long history of doing this shit. So for them, it came very naturally, and in fact, they executed it so professionally. It worked out 100% for them, and to even compensate for areas where they didn't have enough personnel, they found a way of convincing the local guys over here to turn against their own. So that's a very brilliant thing from their perspective, right? Like from our perspective, I mean, I'm looking at like my parent, for instance. So for them, I think this was a situation where a colonizer comes, brings a concept called religion that is designed to control, bring fear to you, and kind of sell you hope. You see, and there's no better person to sell this shit to other than a woman or a child, because these are emotional beings, right? So, I mean, that's a bullshit story, obviously, that I tend to disagree with. The education system. What if I told you that this shit is a way to generate poor workers, right? Who would have to toil for the rest of their lives, for their masters, alafu anakulipa just enough to keep you happy, right? So think about this. Imagine you are the best in a system that is rogue. Doesn't that make you the epitome of mediocrity? Think about it. Ukuja utuambie venye you succeeded in a shitty system. Have to be the shittiest person to have succeeded in such. I mean, that is what it means. Tuingie kitu kaa commerce. Commerce inakwanga driven by advertising and capital. Kila kitu mazi inakwanga, kila msee anauza, kila msee ana advertise kitu, kila mtu. Hata mimi ukiona nimedunga hivi, niliinvest hapa, niliekelea ganzi na niliekelea na ni kitu nataka for purposes of advertising, right? Probably at some point that will be the point, right? I'm probably even advertising this platform, YouTube, right? Nikipata hizo views. So this is what our society is built upon, right? But the extent to which you believe in it is what needs to be measured. So, because you can look at it as a strategy by large corporations to push products that don't necessarily have utility to your life. So, unapata umebuy kitu hata hukuwa unahitaji, right? So, at what expense? Because now that is the other side. So, the expense here is you probably have been financially educated to understand that with the same chums ungebuy asset, and that's how you remain poor. Yeah, so commerce is also a fishy thing. Marriage obviously hiyo hata sihitaji kuangalia sana, hiyo enda mfuate channel ya Kibe, lakini kila day atakwambia, especially with modernity, this institution has now been marred by a lot of unfairness, kuna boredom, and it's just meaningless, right? Especially to the man. Beyond getting kids, squeezy, there's really not so much in it for you. So angalia vitu kama gava and politics. So as a common Mbraia, you have no idea what power play means. Just accept that. You are a pawn. And hakuna kitu important kama to understand where you come, where you are first. You just need to understand that you're deep in the fucking trenches for you to get out of that shit. So understand that when it comes to government and politics, you don't know shit. You don't know what power play means. You have no idea what handshake means. You're a spectator and you're a fucking pawn. So they will lie to you and watakwambia ati democracy is a thing, but democracy is actually an illusion. So understand that you're fungible and you're extremely useless in their eyes. The most use you have to them is your numbers, right? Another thing I have an issue with is a foreign language, English. Najua naitumia hapa communicate, but think about it. You pretend to know this thing a lot, but in essence, you lack a mastery of it. And this is something that your parents told you at hey, someone also it's like it's a measure of intelligence. It really isn't. So language yako is your local dialect. Never lose that shit. Hiyo yenye una despise, hiyo yenye mazee msaki bonga aka na broken English una feel ni kama ako down. Hiyo that was the only way or the best way for us to get it to be in touch with our roots. So what if Ngoso or English was a way to detach us from our roots? And obviously you'll prevent honest dialogue among kinsmen. So you think about this shit. So how much time, for instance, apart from, these things literally cloud our conversations every single day, right? So, and a day has only what, 24 hours. Now think about how much time you dwelt on this list. So commerce, marriage, government, politics, not learning your language. So obviously not having mastered a way to communicate, right? And the number of weekends you spent maybe in church. Kama mokoro wangu alikuwa amesdia hasa anaenda church kuanzia asubuhi hadi jioni. So you tell me how much time this person has spent with their family or even with themselves. Acha tuanze na themselves. Umze unapata hata hana hobbies, hata hajijui. Mzee hapo uulize wewe ni nani, hata hujijui. So unaogopa nini? Hiyo ndio swali. Mbona hii list that ipo around you? So you fucking black man, wake up. You're a weak, hopeless, scared black man. So #BlackJesus. But until next time. Cheers.